Okay, so you've learned how to use the quadratic formula and why you use it. Now we're going to look at some special cases of what would happen. So again, looking at it, I'm going to realize, yep, it's in standard form, so I can go ahead and identify A, B, and C and plug it in. So I know x is equal to negative b, so negative 6 plus or minus square root of b, which is 6 squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a, or 2 times 2. So now just comes the basic computation. And I know 6 squared is 36 minus, so I take a 4 times a 2 times a 7, and I get 56. So that's a negative 56 underneath, 4 on the bottom for the denominator. So now I need to combine those two, so I get negative 6 plus or minus, and I get a negative 20 all over 4. So here's the special case. So before you've never gotten a negative underneath the radical, and now you do. So we have to take care of it. We know that comes out as an I, and I need to simplify 20. I can't get a decimal value, but I need to simplify. So I know 20 is 4 times 5. So now I've got negative 6 plus or minus, so the square root of 4 is 2, and the I comes out for that negative, and then what's left over is the square root of 5 all over 4. So now when I'm looking at it, again, the same thing, I need to know these three outer numbers. Can I reduce them at all? And in this case, I know they're all divisible by 2. So I can shrink each one by dividing by 2. So my answer would be negative 3 plus or minus 2 divided by 2 is just 1. So it'd be I square root of 5 all over 2. And there are my two answers. So when I look at example 2, the only thing that I'm noticing about number 2 is the fact that it's not set equal to 0. So I have to bring the negative 4 over, and I would get 3x squared plus 2x plus 4 equals 0. And now I can try to factor it or go ahead and use my quadratic, which I know that's the case. So it would be x is equal to negative b, or negative 2, plus or minus square root of b, 2 squared, minus 4 times 3 times 4, all over 2 times a, or 2 times 3. Okay, so I'm going to have a negative 2 plus or minus 4 minus, and then I take 4 times 3 times 4, and I get 48 all over 6. So now I need to simplify underneath the radical. So 4 minus 48 is negative 44. And again, now I have to square root 44, and I know that's 4 times 11. So it would be negative 2 plus or minus, the I comes out, and I know the square root of 4 is 2, so it would be 2i, and then the square root of 11 all over 6. And so I still have to ask myself the question, these outside numbers, they're all divisible by 2, so I'm going to shrink each one of them by dividing by 2. So my answer would be, the two x values would be negative 1 plus or minus I square root of 11 all over 3. So now when you use the quadratic formula, you will have the opportunity, or you will see that sometimes underneath the radical you'll get a negative, and you'll have to simplify it, but you'll also have to pull out an I for that negative.